right, folks. We are going to take a quick break, but before we go, John Roberts, Kevin Gill, KG, it's been one hell of a night. And during intermission, you're going to have a couple guests on a live edition of the Kevin Gill Show podcast.
They call it the Kevin Gill Show Express here in the world of Pro Wrestling Revolution on Fight TV. The same podcast you read about in Rolling Stone magazine, the same podcast you hear about on Podcast One. Now, you get a little taste of that interview flavor, and we've got an incredible guest coming up in just a few minutes, not to mention an incredible bomb-ass second part of the show featuring a first-time ever matchup between Penta Zero M and my good long-time close personal friend, Super Crazy.
That match still to come in our main event. Of course, coming up right after intermission, the Pro Wrestling Revolution World Heavyweight title is going to be on the line as your guest, El Hijo de Trump, is set to defend that title against Silver King, against El Ultimo Panda, and El Dinamita. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be back in just a few short minutes with the Kevin Gill Show Express.
Joined by Pro Wrestling Revolution World Champion, celebrating the 365th day of his reign, the headline-making El Hijo de Trump.
I have to say I'm very distracted right now because I can see myself right there, and there is nothing better, no image better than that right there. That's a man and a half. My father is the president. My father, a proud president, a proud man. And just like him, he is, as you know, going for re-election. I am tonight going for re-election as your Pro Wrestling Revolution champion.
I mean, you've been on a roll, no doubt, and also...
Vote for Hijo de Trump. And before you go any further, well, this picture is despicable right here. I don't know if anybody can see that, but my hair is not even in proper placement. I do not approve. I have hair that is wonderful, golden, the best hair. So much hair.
Clearly the best hair.
Clearly.
Now, what about La Migra? La Migra has been banned.
Fantastic people. It's an absolute crime, an absolute disservice to this earth. Why is she talking over me right now? I need you to quiet, lady. Thank you. Know your place. La Migra is really doing a service for this world, this nation, America first, La Migra first, Hijo de Trump first.
You've promised to make Pro Wrestling Revolution great again. How exactly do you plan to do this?
Well, first of all, it all starts here with this title. This is the first step. Step two is to build the wall around the ring so that these people no longer come to this show. I do not want them to come here anymore. I would prefer to wrestle in peace, alone, only with this camera here, with these great fans, these great United States American-born fans.
Wow.
Yeah. Look at that image right there. It's beautiful.
It's just shocking. Your views are your own views, but your track record speaks for itself.
My views are the views of the American people.
Well, I can't argue with that. You do have a huge match coming up tonight, though. Is this your toughest challenge as Pro Wrestling Revolution champion?
Every challenge is tough. But when you're Hijo de Trump, you make every challenge easy.
Just like that?
Just like that.
No details, no plans, it's just easy.
I can't share my details with you. I can't share my plans with you. If I do that, my detractors, there's going to be press. They're going to say bad things about me.
Haters.
Just like they do to my father, and I don't want that here. And I don't want them to use my plans against me. So I have great men in great positions of power who are going to make sure that we make Pro Wrestling Revolution great again.
Any words for Silver King, for Ultimo Panda, for El Dinamita before that match tonight?
How do I say this? Perdidores. Sí o no? Sí o no?
Poquito?
Sí.
Sí.
Pito.
There you have it, the Pro Wrestling Revolution heavyweight champion, 1-year anniversary, 365 days into his reign, right now enamored with his own, and I do have to say the man does look good. Anything you want to say on the way out?
Pito. God bless you, and viva la migra.
Not popular sentiments, but they are his opinions. He does have a right to say them, and we thank... Well, that was scheduled. You know what? Come on over here, Will Cuevas. The man, Memo Cuevas. What a match you had. We've been trying to get you on the show for a long time. I just saw you there heading back into the locker room.
Right.
Quite great timing, because El Hijo de Trump had just stormed out of here. What is going on with you and Fedorov?
You know, he's been sticking his nose in my business for almost a year now. And, you know, it's just, I don't know what he has against me ever since we had the Pro Wrestling Revolution at San Francisco State, you know, where he found out he was trying to talk down to all the fans and, you know, everyone in America. And I told him, you know, I stood up for...
And the veterans,
and
too.
The veterans, too. So, you know, he was just talking down to everyone, telling they were worth nothing. So, you know, I had to stand up and, you know, start defending these people here, you know.
And I talked about this earlier on commentary during the match, but you're not just someone who's patriotic because you love your country. You took your love of the country to another level. You fought in the armed forces.
Right.
You are a Marine. That's such an amazing
right.
thing. Do you feel like that the boot camp training and all the regiment you had to go through to be a Marine, does that prepare you for battle with guys like Papo Esco and Arkady Fedorov?
I think it does. You know, I've been in combat. You know, I've done the training, and it's tough. You know, we've talked before. It's tough. You know, you're up
We talked
early.
about it on the way up here today.
You're up early, and it's 120 degrees outside. You know, but I think the heart, that prepares you more than anything else. When you have that reason to fight, you know, you've got that passion. You know, I've got the passion for the country, serve my country, and now, you know, I'm serving these people out here. So, you know, I got to bring home the win, which I did tonight. You know, but they kind of snuck one in there.
Right, but you guys had so much fire and so much fortitude. They jumped you after the match. You guys got the win. Your hands were raised.
Right.
Without a doubt, without a question. And we all know those after parties that Prosti Puro Gofu always throws whenever he wins.
That's true.
I felt like that was motivating a lot of his fire. I know where your fire comes from. His
right.
fire, I think, was motivated by the after party. He already put deposits
well,
down
if he's
on.
seen enough sequins on his jacket, wait till the after party.
Now, you touched on the history there a little bit with Fedorov. You know, also Dmitry Romanov. You know, we talked about not just his evil mind, but his evil coffee breath, and how both these things kind of come together to just be a ruiner of days and a spoiler of matches.
He is a ruiner of days, of course. He's got the awful coffee breath. He imports his coffee from Russia, so it's probably, you know, old Soviet coffee.
Right.
So he's got the stank breath. And then Arkady too. You know, Arkady doesn't smell good as well. And then Papo just, you know, smells like a lunch buffet.
Yeah, like a lunch bodega in the back of an old bodega that got closed down for not having air conditioning.
Exactly.
Now, where did this stuff all start, though? You know, you talked about the most recent flare-up, but when did this all start with Fedorov?
You know, I was tagging with Papo a few times, as you know, and you know, it happened at San Francisco State where he just came out and he just kind of, you know. Fedorov said his little thing, and then Dmitry Romanov, you know, tried to talk down and started talking about the women as well. So I had enough, came out, confronted him, and the end of that night, you know, my hand was raised, and he's been so bitter. He's just had that intense passion ever since I beat him that night.
Well, it eats at them because their whole thing is just based on their superiority. They're better than everyone,
right.
But it's seemingly time and time again when they're in the ring with you, 1, 2, 3, your hand is raised. And I think that's not just embarrassing for them, but it's embarrassing on the front lines for them back home in the media and stuff. Because, you know, the state-controlled media, these are big stories in Russia as well.
So what I would say, back in Russia, what they're going to do is they're going to cut out the part of me getting the 1, 2, 3.
Right.
And they're just going to go straight to the part of them beating me up. And just like propaganda out in the Soviet Union, they're going to say they were the winners when they weren't the winners. Good old Will Cuevas, Memo Cuevas, El Chicano, and my boy El Prosti were the winners tonight.
Man, now Papo Esco, you know, like kind of a bystander who's getting more and more involved in your business. Have you ever faced anyone as strong as him? He's just a monstrous strength, and his strength seems equal to his bad attitude.
No, I've never faced anyone as big as Papo and as strong as, I mean, as you saw tonight, we were chopping down that tree. Chop, chop, chop. He didn't fall. He just buckled.
And it took a blow after blow from both you and Prosti.
Right, so you have to keep him on your toes. You may not be able to knock down that tree, but if you keep him on your toes, then that's something that it will give you the advantage in a fight.
Now, on your way out of here, Memo Cuevas, we appreciate your time. What do you think separates Pro Wrestling Revolution from the rest of the wrestling scene out there around this world?
I think it's a hybrid of everything. You've got the lucha libre, you've got the American style, you even have some Japanese strong style, European technical style. You have it all in one package, and it's something where you come, you enjoy it, the fans are really, really into it, you go home and, you know, do what you need to do. So I don't think it's not technically like an indie, it's its own little entity.
Sure,
you know?
and it has, truly spices and seasonings and ingredients from all the best of that wrestling hot table, if you will. You know what I mean? This is the Kevin Gill Show Express, holding it down on Fight for Pro Wrestling Revolution. Memo Cuevas, one of the most popular and talented men here, stepping up and being the good brother that he is. When El Hijo de Trump had enough of this interview, you can check out more of the Kevin Gill Show on iTunes, Audio Boom, everywhere podcasts are heard. And it's like, what now, 130 episodes all recorded in person. So, Memo Cuevas, everyone at Fight TV, Pro Wrestling Revolution, Viva. And we're about to be back in just mere moments here with more action. I don't even get a bathroom break because I give you this. I give you this.
Thanks again, KG.
Much
BMA
love, Memo.
all day.
All day, baby.
All righty.